living in a world where genuine smiles can conceal deadly intentions. Understanding the distinction between paranoia and legitimate concern might be the thin line that keeps you from becoming another tragic headline in tomorrow's newsfeed. Every single day, countless individuals go about their lives completely unaware that someone close to them is secretly plotting their downfall. The most terrifying part? These potential threats often hide behind the masks of friendship, love, or even family ties. You might think this sounds extreme, but by the end of this video, you'll understand why being aware of these signs isn't just important. It's crucial for your survival in modern society. In a world where digital footprints make tracking easier and social connections blur the lines between friend and foe, knowing these 5 warning signs could literally save your life. The most dangerous predators aren't always the ones who show their teeth. Sometimes they're the ones who smile the widest while planning your demise. Pay close attention, because what you're about to learn isn't just another set of random warnings. These are real, proven signs that someone might be harboring deadly intentions toward you. Let's begin by diving straight into the first deadly sign that someone might want you dead: the silent observer. This isn't just about someone watching you, it's about a calculated predator who studies your every move. Think about your daily routine, your morning coffee stop, your usual parking spot, even your favorite bench at the park. When someone wants you dead, they don't just randomly strike. They watch, they learn, and they plan. Let me paint you a clear picture. You start noticing the same car parked across from your house at odd hours. Your social media posts get instant reactions from someone who never showed interest before. Your coworker suddenly knows details about your weekend plans that you never shared. These aren't coincidences. They're warning signs that someone is actively monitoring your life. In today's digital age, surveillance has become easier than ever. Your potential threat might be tracking you through seemingly innocent methods. They might follow your location through shared apps you forgot about, monitor your social media check-ins, or use mutual friends to keep tabs on your whereabouts. Even more disturbing, they might create situations to test their surveillance, showing up at places they know you'll be just to see how predictable your patterns are. But here's where it gets really scary, and this is our first major warning sign. When someone wants you dead, they don't just observe randomly. They create a systematic pattern of surveillance that includes both physical and digital tracking. They might plant tracking devices in your car, hack into your home security cameras, or even befriend your regular contacts to gather information about your schedule. The most dangerous part? This person often hides in plain sight. They could be the friendly neighbor who always seems to be outside when you leave for work, the coworker who consistently picks the lunch spot with a view of your usual table, or even the social media friend who always knows your location before you announce it. What makes this first sign so crucial is that it's often overlooked because we've become so used to sharing our lives publicly. We post our locations, share our plans, and announce our routines without thinking twice. But when someone wants you dead, they use this information to create a complete map of your life, looking for patterns and vulnerabilities they can exploit. The bottom line? If you notice consistent, unexplained presences in your daily life, coupled with someone showing unusual knowledge of your routine, you're not being paranoid. You're identifying the first critical sign that someone might want you dead. This pattern of surveillance is the foundation they lay for something much more sinister, and recognizing it early could literally save your life. Now let me share with you something that happened to Becca, a friend of mine who almost lost her life because she missed the second critical sign. Becca had a friend who started showing up whenever she was feeling down, offering support that seemed genuine at first. But this support came with strings attached, subtle hints about how Becca couldn't handle life without them, how other friends weren't really there for her, how family didn't understand her like they did. This brings us to our second major warning sign: the emotional manipulator. These predators don't just want your death. They want to control every aspect of your life first. They manipulate your emotions, isolate you from support systems, and create a dependency that masks their true intentions. Think about your own life right now. Is there someone who makes you feel guilty for spending time with others? Someone who reminds you of your past mistakes whenever you try to make independent decisions? Someone who seems to trigger your emotional vulnerabilities with surgical precision? These aren't random behaviors, they're calculated moves in a deadly game. The emotional manipulator works by creating what I call the triangle of control. First, they identify your emotional weaknesses. Then, they exploit these vulnerabilities by offering themselves as the only solution. Finally, they isolate you from anyone who might see through their facade. Here's the terrifying part. They don't just stop at emotional manipulation. They start planting seeds of fear disguised as concern. "I worry about you walking alone at night" becomes a subtle threat. "No one else understands you like I do" becomes a warning against seeking help. They might even start using your secrets against you, holding them over your head like a sword ready to drop. But here's what makes this sign so dangerous. It feels like love, like protection, like genuine care. The emotional manipulator is a master at making their control feel like concern. They'll comfort you after making you cry, support you after destroying your confidence, and protect you from dangers they themselves created. The bottom line is clear. If someone in your life is systematically isolating you while creating emotional dependency, they're not protecting you, they're preparing you. This pattern of emotional manipulation is the second critical sign that someone might want you dead, setting the stage for complete control before they make their final move. Now let's shift our focus to something that might be happening right under your nose. The third deadly sign that someone wants to end your life. You're about to discover why that person who seems overly interested in your finances or legal matters might be plotting something far more sinister than you think. Have you ever noticed someone trying to get way too involved in your money matters? Maybe they've offered to help manage your accounts, suggested joint investments, or shown unusual interest in your assets. These aren't random acts of kindness. They're calculated moves in a deadly chess game where you're the unknowing player. What makes this third sign particularly dangerous is how it masquerades as helpful advice or genuine concern. The resource controller doesn't just want access to your money. They want complete control over every resource you have. They're playing a long game, building a paper trail that could eventually make your death look like a natural progression of events. Think about it. They might suggest being added to your accounts just in case something happens. They could push for joint ownership of property or insist on being involved in your legal matters. Each move seems logical on the surface, but underneath lies a sinister plot to gain control of your life, and eventually, your death. Here's where things get really scary, and pay close attention because this could save your life. The resource controller often works through legitimate channels. They'll use lawyers, financial advisors, and legal documents to create what I call the web of control. Every signature, every joint account, every shared asset becomes a strand in their web, designed to entangle you completely. And if you're watching this thinking, "This could never happen to me," let me wake you up to reality. It's not just about money, it's about power. They might start small, borrowing your car, using your credit card for emergencies, or asking for copies of your keys. But each step gives them more control, more access, and more power over your life. Before we move on to the next sign, I need you to understand something crucial. And this is why hitting that subscribe button right now could literally save your life. The information you're learning here isn't just content, it's survival knowledge that could protect you from becoming another statistic. The bottom line? If someone is showing unusual interest in your financial matters, legal documents, or personal assets while trying to gain control over them, you're not being paranoid. You're spotting the third critical sign that someone might want you dead. This pattern of resource control is a calculated move to ensure they benefit from your demise while making it look completely natural. Now, I need you to listen up with rapt attention, because what I'm about to tell you about the fourth sign is something that could be happening to you right now. This isn't about paranoia. This is about your survival. When someone wants you dead, they don't just target you directly. They demolish your entire support system. They become the master puppeteer, pulling strings you didn't even know existed. They infiltrate your social circle, poison your relationships, and destroy your reputation with surgical precision. Let me be crystal clear about this fourth warning sign. The network infiltrator doesn't just spread rumors. They create an entire narrative about you. They plant seeds of doubt in the minds of your friends, whisper concerns to your family, manipulate your coworkers, and they do it all while maintaining a perfect facade of innocence. This is how they operate. First, they identify your key relationships, the people you trust, the ones you rely on. Then, they systematically begin to corrupt these connections. They might tell your best friend they're worried about your behavior. They could hint to your family about your concerning lifestyle choices. They might even suggest to your coworkers that you're becoming unstable. What makes this fourth sign so lethal is its invisibility. By the time you realize what's happening, your entire support system has been compromised. Your friends start avoiding you, your family questions your decisions, your coworkers keep their distance, and there you are, standing alone, exactly where they want you. The network infiltrator is a master of what I call social assassination. They don't just want to isolate you, they want to make it look like you isolated yourself. They want everyone to think that when something happens to you, it was somehow your own doing. They create a narrative so compelling that even those closest to you might question your sanity. The bottom line? If you notice your relationships deteriorating while someone seems to be gaining influence over your social circle, you're witnessing the fourth critical sign that someone wants you dead. This systematic destruction of your support network isn't random. It's a calculated strategy to ensure that when they make their move, no one will be there to protect you. Now we arrive at the fifth and most chilling sign, the calculated predator. This isn't just about someone who wants you dead. This is about someone who has already planned every detail of your demise. What I'm about to share will fundamentally change how you view the people around you. The calculated predator operates with a level of sophistication that's both brilliant and terrifying. They don't just wait for opportunities, they create them. They engineer situations that test your awareness, probe your defenses, and set up what they want everyone to believe was just an unfortunate accident. Let me break this down in a way that will open your eyes to their methodology. These predators start by testing your awareness levels in subtle ways. They might accidentally tamper with your car's brakes to see if you notice. They could leave your garage door open to test your security consciousness. They might even create small accidents to gauge your reaction time and survival instincts. But here's where it gets truly frightening. They're not just testing you, they're practicing. Every near miss, every close call, every lucky escape is a dress rehearsal for the final act. They're perfecting their technique while simultaneously conditioning those around you to see you as accident-prone or careless. The most insidious part? They're building their alibi long before they need it. They establish patterns that support their innocence, create witnesses who will swear they were elsewhere, and construct a narrative that makes your eventual accident seem almost inevitable. These predators are masters of what I call premeditated plausibility. Every move they make is designed to look innocent in isolation, but forms part of a larger, deadly pattern. They might suggest taking a dangerous hiking trail, recommend a restaurant known for food poisoning cases, or insist on driving you home after having just one drink. The bottom line? If you notice someone in your life creating situations that could lead to accidents while simultaneously building alibis and testing your reactions, you're not being paranoid. You're identifying the fifth and most dangerous sign that someone wants you dead. This pattern of calculated preparation isn't coincidence. It's the final stage before they make their move. Now, what you've just learned isn't just information. It's a survival guide for the modern world. These 5 signs, the silent observer, the emotional manipulator, the resource controller, the network infiltrator, and the calculated predator, aren't just theories. They're real patterns that have preceded countless tragedies. But here's the truth that you need to hear. Knowing these signs isn't enough. You must take action. Start documenting suspicious patterns, strengthen your security measures, build a network of trusted allies who understand these warnings. Most importantly, trust your instincts when something feels off. The world is filled with people who thought, it could never happen to me, until it did. Don't become another statistic. Don't let your story become another cautionary tale. The knowledge you now possess is powerful, but only if you use it. Before you go, remember that your safety journey doesn't end here. There's more critical information you need to know, and it's waiting for you in the next video. Your life might literally depend on what you learn next. Stay alert, stay aware, and most importantly, stay alive. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.